Thor to retire and go back into acting. Jesus Christ, Thor, will you just stick to what you're good at for fuck's sake? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What a fantastic day it is here in Ireland. I'm a bit sick, I'm a bit under the weather. I wasn't going to do this episode, but I have so many comments and stuff for me to come back and just bring some misinformation back into the game, I guess. I mean, if I don't do it, this sport will die a death. This sport is so lucky to have someone like me that'll talk shit and on the juicy stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get back to some of the comments that I have recently. Make sure you leave some comments under this video. Make sure you visit my website. And if you want to be coached by me, get stronger, live longer. Because getting stronger is about living longer or something. Anyway, David123 Burnett. This is in reference to Brian Shaw's show. Maybe if you didn't invite and pay your boyfriend Eddie Hall to come arm wrestle for money. Eddie didn't draw any money. That's a lie, you cunt. And it's funny that you don't mention your favourite person. Thor wasn't there like last year. Thor brings in the money, and because of Eddie and the chest press machine that Brian put in the show, Thor decided not to come to the show. So if Brian wanted to make money, take out the chest machine. Even though you're being a bit of a cunt, David, I agree with you on Thor being there would draw more people. Absolutely, he's the best strongman in the world. He's the second best deadlifter ever. So absolutely, but well, we had the best deadlifter of all time there, Eddie Hall, but he wasn't there to deadlift, unfortunately. He was only there to arm wrestle. Arm wrestle is so boring. It's so boring. I would rather punch myself into the purple helmet, my penis, for those of you that didn't get it, than watch arm wrestling. And it's great and all that. I just find it's not for me, I suppose. BMX AE. I bought the stream last year, but they didn't this year. Just not worth the $30, honestly. The US is massive and Colorado is in the middle of nowhere. If it's in the Northwest or Chicago, then they'd get more person spectators. Importantly, most of the live stream viewers were probably American. They'd have to be because it started so late. The stream started late and Europeans probably skipped buying the stream for that reason. Honestly, I bought it because I want to support my sport. But I fell asleep during the log press and I ended up watching zero of it. I watched some highlights the following day and that was it. Sacramento is in the middle of nowhere. That's why American fans weren't at World's Strongest Man. Plus, World's Strongest Man experience is shit. I was at the Fight Myrtle Beach event, and it was absolutely overflowing with American fans. Again, Las Vegas is in the middle of nowhere. Giants Live. Companies need to not host competitions in the desert. I absolutely agree. I think they couldn't pick worse fucking places for these competitions in America. Is any wonder they're always a flop? I mean, Giants Live in Las Vegas had no business there, in my opinion. I think one of the best places, and I haven't seen one yet, is a big competition should be held up in Canada, because Canada has such a huge strongman base there. There's a lot of pro strongmen come from there, so there have to be a lot of fans up there. I imagine if they picked a good area, don't just land it in the middle of the fucking ice. Put on a competition there because, it'd be cool to have it nice. Put it in a town. Like, you'd imagine common sense is the most rarest thing these days. Put it where strongmen are. I imagine North America as well would be a better place to hold a competition if you're going to hold one in America. I don't know where fucking Sacramento is or Colorado is, but the most of the people were bitching about that these places are in the middle of nowhere. Why are you putting competitions on in the middle of fucking nowhere and then wondering why people don't buy tickets? Oh my god, it's fucking common sense. Anyway, moving on. Is there any correlation between shows that perform poorly and Mitch's attendance? Just spitballing here, but wondering if maybe a performance of shows is lacking recently because Mitch's following is less interested in watching without him there. Could be that more strongmen might need to build a stronger online presence to help generate interest for the sport. If so, but ultimately I'm just guessing, thinking about other sports like UFC, which has a super strong network of people making content about the UFC. Strongman has some, that's the thing as well, other people making content about strongman, and a lot of promoters have an issue with this because they feel like they're taking money out of their pocket. And it's the most stupid thing ever. You see how these other people. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a clear-cut example here. Julian Howard, World's Strongest Fan, has 140 odd thousand followers on Facebook. I can't remember. He's a big follower online, right? And he was contacted by Strongest Man on Earth to not post anything about the show before, during, or after. I mean, how is that beneficial to him? And that's purely money grabbing because he wants to keep all the information for himself, put out there himself, which is fine, right? But the bits that Julian shares, you could say, don't share results, but share some stuff. And that would help promote the fucking sport. But these fucking people in charge don't want anyone else sharing their information. And they're like, don't share that, don't share that. Like, do you think Dana White gives a fuck who talks about the upcoming fights during the fight, people talking about the fight, as if he's going to reach out to the likes of Julian Howard and say, yeah, can you not post about the fight tonight? He doesn't give a fuck. And that's how you grow the sport, by getting more people to talk about it. If you're going to shut people up talking about your competition, how does that benefit you? Jesus Christ, it's the small things, lads. It's the small things. Anyway, about Strongman has some, but it's got to adapt to the way that content online has developed, different production, video ideas, etc. Mitch does a good job with his educational training stuff and collaborations across strength sports, so that's why my head is there. Mitch probably does the best job out of everyone because he breaches into other sports like CrossFit, and he meets up with these other collaborators, and it's putting Strongman out there. He's probably the best in the world currently at doing it. I feel like more people should do that. Just see, if I was World's Strongest Man, I can tell you now, there is cunts over in Egypt that would know about me. I just would not stop promoting myself constantly on as many fucking stupid radio, TV, papers, and even though it might seem egotistical for me, it does so much more for the sport. If I won World's Strongest Man once, I would do an Eddie Hall on it, and I would fucking make every cunt know my name. We need more people like Eddie Hall in the sport, right? He won World's Strongest Man once, and he's still the most talked about strongman ever. I remember I was coming through an airport recently, right? And a couple of young fellas were behind me, and they was like, look at the size of your man in front of us. He's like Eddie Hall. They were talking about me. I look like Eddie Hall, as if I'm fucking ripped, and Eddie's a fat fuck. Anyway, and they were talking about, oh, he looks like Eddie Hall. And one guy turns around to the other, and he said, who is Eddie Hall? Now, this is 2025. And he said, Eddie Hall is the world's strongest man. And the rest of them were like, oh my God, that's who the world's strongest man is. So they spoke about Eddie Hall being the world's strongest man. Eddie Hall has won world's strongest man since 2017. And he's still the name in people's heads that are world's strongest man. Even though we've had other British winners, obviously, in the Thomas Stoutman. But that's what they should be doing. When you win a big title, you should be fucking pushing the shit out of yourself and selling yourself like a dirty little prostitute on the side of the road and fucking shoving your tits in everyone's fucking faces, and that's how you grow the sport. And they need to get away from this, oh, it's family orientated, you can't swear and stuff. Fuck off with your family orientation shite. Shove it up the furthest point in your fucking hole. Like, imagine if UFC was doing that. Oh, we need to be more wary of the families that are sitting down watching this. So no swearing, guys. It's like, fuck off. Say what you want. Be as offensive as you want. And look where the UFC now is. It is now worth billions. And in Strongman, we're still paying competitors pennies. Literally pennies. That's where we are. That's where the sport of Strongman is. I really wish they would follow down the route of UFC and give a little bit of not giving a fuck. That would benefit the sport so much. There was no content being pushed out during the show. So he's referring to Brian Shaw's show, again, which is absolutely fucking stupid. He put the only people that were allowed to see the results and that were the people that paid the $25 or $30, whatever it was, which again is madness. How are people meant to know about this if you're putting a big cock blocker on your competition? You're like hiding it from people that won't want to pay it. It's so stupid. Moving fucking on. The comments about arm wrestling are disappointing and misinformed. There are far more arm wrestlers in the US than strongman competitors. You just see, there you go. I am into strength sports, and I couldn't name one fucking arm wrestler. And you're telling me there's more arm wrestlers than strongmen. That's why we need to get away from arm wrestling in strongman competitions. No one, I'm telling you now, even though it's a great sport, arm wrestling is fantastic. It's so good and fun to watch for arm wrestling fans. Strongman fans like myself, we don't want to watch that shit. We don't give a fuck. I don't want to watch another man hold another man's hand aggressively for 5 minutes and they fucking making their faces. Fuck out of here with your shite. The issue is with the commercial model. Get rid of PPV and offer a free live stream so that you can sell ad partnerships for a higher price. Arm wrestling is growing. Strongman is shrinking. You are wrong. I couldn't name one arm wrestler. The only fucker I could name is your man from Canada, and I can't even. Devon Larratt. One I can name, and the only reason I know him is because he's involved in strongman a little bit. Remember, he was fighting Thor that time, and he's shown up. He's a big name. That's the only reason I know who he is. I couldn't name another one. But that says a lot about the sport of arm wrestling. I'll tell you why I'm not paying shit for Strongest Man on Earth. I don't like Brian Shaw. He rubs me in the wrong way. What a stupid fucking attitude you have, you little cunt, Jeff. Absolute smelly little... You should have ended up inside your mother's mouth and not in her vagina, you silly little fucker. How is that beneficial to... Like, you could pay for Strongest Man on Earth and dislike Brian Shaw, but pay for it knowing that money goes back to the strongman. You're supporting the strongman when you pay for the live stream, not the cunt that's running it. Oh, Thor to retire in 1 to 2 years to get back to his acting career. Thor, if you're watching, or if one of your little bitches is watching, the other little fucking gimps you have in your ear constantly, don't retire. Don't retire. You make strongman very interesting. You're very strong. You're a really good deadlifter. We'd love to see you break more records in deadlift. I think you can come back and win World's Strongest Man if you put your fucking ego to the side. Your acting career. I mean, your acting career is short and sweet. Can we even call it a career? And you want to give up being the best strongman ever for your acting career? I mean, like, can you imagine him auditioning for another show, right? And it's like, okay, can you give us some lines from a previous show that you have done? He's like, okay. Because he had no fucking lines. What is his acting career? Stick to strongman, Thor. We love you. You're such a good deadlifter. You're literally the second best deadlifter ever. What do you make of Hooper getting with his wife? And I've seen some comments about this. I'm absolutely delighted for Hooper and Ashley getting back together, starting their shit. They kept it themselves. They told no one. They came out publicly there a couple of days ago. And said they're back together. I'm so happy for them. And John, even when I met Hooper last weekend at the World Deadlift Championships, he seemed so much happier, so much... You can see that he was back to him old self, because prior to that I was thinking he said he was going to do Rogue, and I was thinking he's not ready yet, because I was basing that on the last time I'd seen him, which is at Worlds, I think. And then I saw him at the World Deadlift Championships, and it looked like the fella from 2023 or 2024, the fella that is eager and hardworking and looking to fucking destroy and take names from strongmen. So for two reasons I'm happy. Number one, I'm happy for him and his wife Ashley and their kids, that they'll be a big happy family. I'm really happy for them that they put all their stuff aside and they're back together. Really happy for them. Fucking God bless them, right? Number two, this will bring back the old Hooper. The Hooper that was one of the best strongmen, if not the best strongman to ever walk the planet. So we're going to have great battles next year when Hooper's back to form. You have Thor next year. You have Paddy climbing up that ladder. You'll have Luke Richardson back. You'll have Evan coming back, who's looking to win everything next year. It's going to make it just so much better with Hooper in his old shape. So I'm very happy for him. God bless them. And that's all we have time for. It's a good little catch up. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what your feelings are. Who's a cunt? Am I a cunt? I don't know if I have any more news for you. Good day to you. Mwah.